Hello, welcome back to the Off-Grid family. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Xega XG-13. This is a wireless remote control camera and it's very small and it uses basically a SIM card to be able to connect to your phone, and so it is completely and utterly wireless. All you have to do is recharge it. Before I get on, I'd just like to thank my patron Darren. Dude, you're so cool. I really appreciate all the help you've given over the years. It really does help in real life and, you know, for the channel. He's come to my house, we've done like projects together. It's just awesome. I love meeting people through this channel and I hope to meet more of you over time. Anyway, let's get on. Okay, so this is the XG-13, so XG-13, and it's got two-way audio, PIR detection, cool night vision, coloured night vision, weatherproof, TF card storage and cloud storage. Yeah, it's got a few warnings on that side. Let's get inside. Okay, I like that. It's got the mounting holes so you can stick this wherever you're going to mount it and drill through, and it just gives you a perfect and easy way to mount it. Okay, we'll have a look at all that in a minute. Okay, so we've got all the mounting bits. Charging wire, which is type C. Oh, it's beautiful. Very nice. I assume that's for the SD card and the SIM card, if it's got one. I'm not 100% sure on this one. Okay, so here is where you put all of the bits and bobs. The SD card and the SIM card, etc. And then this screws onto here like so. That's pretty straightforward. Okay, let's have a look at this then. Okay, lens, I'd assume that that is a day-night sensor, an LDR of some kind. Infrared and white LED, and then various indicators. There's an LED on either side, I think, that shows you whether it's charging, etc. Red during charging and solid blue after charging is complete. There's the PIR, the passive infrared sensor. That is the thing that sort of senses when you walk in front of it. Microphone, and then all of the bits underneath, which is the, you know, plug it in and the different cards, etc. It will it can sense you up to 10 meters, which is 32 foot away, which is pretty cool. Now let's have a look at the actual instructions and I'll be able to tell you if it's any good and if it's well written or not. Okay, after a quick look through the user manual, it's actually pretty well written, so I'm going to actually do a proper review now. I'm going to go through it all and we'll get up and running and we'll see how it works, see how well it works, hopefully. Okay, as with everything battery operated, I'm going to send this off to be charged. What am I saying, send it off? Like I've got a charging station somewhere. I'm going to charge it and I'll be back as soon as it's fully charged. Okay, so it took an unusually large amount of time to actually charge, and I'm not sure if that was my charger, to be honest, because the charging port I used, it wasn't the one that came with it, and it was charging for a long time, and I took the charging cable out, and as I started to take it out, it went blue, which means it's charged. So I'm wondering if the charging cable wasn't quite right, so I think that was my fault. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to download the app that goes with it, and there is a QR code in here and here to download it, and it tells you what to download if you want to go through the Apple Store, etc. So let's do that first. Okay, so the first thing we've come to is a user agreement, and it's got a lot of stuff there, and I'm assuming I've got to agree anyway. So now it's asking me to register by putting in an email address and password, well, an email address. So I'll do that. Okay, now it's asking me to just put in a password. Now we need to add the device. So I'll read through how to do that quickly. Okay, it is fairly straightforward. All we need to do is find the on button. There you go, and a red light has lit. It says it might take 1 to 2 minutes before that light will turn blue and stay consistently blue. Right, it's been flashing away for quite some time. I think I actually need a micro SD card in it. So I'll turn it back off again. Okay, the SD card goes in the bottom of it like this. Same places where you charge and where you put the SIM card. Oh, and let's turn it on again and let's have a look. The button is so small. All my fingers are too fat, one or the other. There we go. Okay, I've just turned it on record again on my phone because I had a genius moment. My camera could not focus on the QR code on here because my camera's broken. It's really, really like foggy. It works for QR codes if you're really far away, but it was quite small. So I actually took a photo of it on this camera, then zoomed into it on the viewfinder and on the screen, and used the screen as the actual QR code, and it worked, which I didn't think would. Otherwise, I'd have recorded the whole thing and looked like a genius. But now it is doing its thing. It's connecting. It's at 36%. So we'll just wait and see how long this takes. Okay, so after I connected it, it was all fairly straightforward. So I went into the garden and I've taken a few bits and bobs around the garden just to show you the color quality and how fast the frame rate is, etc. And we're just looking around the flowers just to show the color and a little bee. And yeah, it's pretty responsive. The quality is pretty good, and it's actually quite quick. Normally when you get sort of like a handheld camera like this, there's quite a lot of discrepancy, some latency, that kind of thing. But as far as I can tell, this is actually pretty good. Let's have a look at some other stuff. The night vision is very, very good. The only actual camera work I've got that I can show you is of my room pitch black recording my actual camera that I use for these videos, but I did do other recording with it, but I unfortunately accidentally deleted it. The night vision was very, very good. In fact, the night vision I think was better than the camera I've got at the moment because of it was just sharper, cleaner and crisper. Okay, so as you can see, the quality is pretty good. It's very small. I really, really like it. The only negative I've got with all of these cameras, it's not just this one, is the subscription model. I'd much prefer it so that you could have Wi-Fi and a SIM card kind of connectivity, and perhaps have a certain number of tokens per month or something like that. So for example, if something happens, you can use your tokens to be able to download it from their server, or you know, whatever, but a bit more of a fairer model of sort of being able to access that sort of server storage kind of thing, because I always find that once you've spent that amount of money, you don't really want to be spending a constant amount of money. They're not too bad in some cases and they are good in other cases, but again, I just think that's something that over time will change. As these become more of the normal model, I think we will find that the prices drop dramatically anyway, and we might be able to connect them to other devices that we pay a subscription for, so it's sort of like a bundled deal. But yeah, I really do like it. It's a very, very compact thing, and it's just so easy to put wherever the hell you like and just leave it and then just charge it every so often. The sleep mode and everything, it works really, really well, and it only sort of wakes up if you walk in front of it or if it detects any kind of movement. Very good. Yeah, I would advise if this is something you're after and you've checked out the subscription model, etc., and it's all fine for you, I definitely recommend this one. I really do like it. As I say, it's just small enough so it can just be tucked out the way and sort of forgotten about. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and thanks again to Darren. If you'd like to join him and become a patron, all the links are in the description. Anyway, bye for now.